Hello, everyone. Today's topic is intriguing to me personally, but we're going to go over what's important now. And many times we all go through our day in, day out workload and what we're doing every day. It becomes so standard, we miss important clues as to what needs to be done to prosper the dealership, the company, whatever we're into. And how do we miss these things? What do we do to look into our operation with one common thread of constant improvement? Today we're going to get into some of the ways to standardize getting out of your standard, to make it common to be out of your comfort zone and analyzing what you need to be doing. And there's some real strong benefits we'll list at the end of the call. But for right now, I want to share a story about my Jeep. My Jeep is just in the dealership again. It's been through several things, just minor things. But I travel a lot. I'm on the road a lot. And the Jeep was at a client of mine. I had a need. And I walked up to the service advisor and I said, "Nick, could you get my Jeep in today? I can't put gas in it. And I can fight through it, but it's not taking any fuel." And what the advisor said to me was incredible. Now, this was last week. I want to just say this was last week. And the advisor goes, "Well, we're booking out through the 28th. We're booking people for that to the 28th. We're just that short of techs that we can't take on any work for Chrysler Dodge Jeep. We're booking the 28th of the month." So, wow, that's 2.5 weeks away. And what are they doing? So I went to the manager, and I obviously could put some fuel in, got some fuel in, looked at how to get it home and into another. They did have the technician take a quick peek at it. The item that it needed wasn't in stock. So we look at this incident, we say, gosh, get me home and I'll get it to the shop. We'll reevaluate it locally. They'll order the part in likely. But it was on a service bulletin. They read the service bulletin, spent maybe a half hour on it and diagnosing, yeah, there's sure got a problem. Need that new filler neck. So let's talk about what the real problem is. What do you think the advisor's quality of life is when they hear time after time the comments from customers trying to get service on a product they bought there? And you look at this, and if you're saying that, I'll bet that advisor's answering 10, 20 calls a day, someone trying to schedule in for the shortage of techs that they're dealing with. But how is the problem getting resolved? How do you determine what's important now in your shop? If you had this kind of a situation, it would be all hands on deck. We would want to make sure that we were doing everything we could do to fill the need for the tech. And many of us have needs for technicians. Many of us. Matter of fact, a couple calls ago, we talked about technicians, the importance of them and caring for them. But here's some things that I would do. First of all, we write down what the need is. We look at the need. I need techs. I went to the manager who was new at their position. And he answered to me, "Oh, yeah, we got an ad on monster.com, and that's going to solve all of our needs for technicians. We're going to get, well, have you had any results?" "No, we haven't had any results." not one application. So in essence, this store did put an ad. They did something, right? We're getting no result, but we did something. We put out an effort there. Not enough. What's important now? If you ask yourself that question, you'd be saying, "I need text." Well, what are we doing to get that? What are we doing to get the resolution? An ad on Monster.com? No, let's get aggressive. Let's throw a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Pay a third now, a third in 6 months, and a third at the first anniversary. Some might say, well, gosh, that's way too much money. A technician is going to generate $10,000 and up a month in labor. A technician is going to generate $10,000 a month in parts sales. But beyond the revenue, what are your customers thinking? Do you think without any question that they're going to say, oh, okay, if you're booking the 28th, yeah, my car, I'll just leave it parked until then. Go ahead and schedule me for the 28th or 29th. I'll wait on you for 2.5 weeks. If you think that, you're wrong. Matter of fact, I use this, that if you're booking 2.5 days out, 2.5 days out to get a customer in, you're causing customer counts to go to some other place. Are they lost for good? Likely. Because when the customer calls in and they ask if they need service, they're not going to, in today's environment, sit and wait for you on your convenience. You could tell them, yeah, we got 2 techs on vacation this week. We got one off sick and one off training, and we're just so short we can't get anybody in. Do you believe that your customer cares what your issues are? The answer is no. They don't care what your issues are. What do they want? I want to get my car in and get it fixed and get to grandma's or get to my vacation or what I got to do with life. They don't really give 2 iotas about what you're doing. So that $5,000, although that may seem high, what's not getting a technician costing you? What is not taking action costing you? What about $500 bonus for the tool trucks? If the tool truck people, you went around and said, hey, Snap-on, hey, Mac Tool Guy, I need tech. I need a certified tech. If you bring me one and I hire him, I'm going to give you $500 cash. Is that too much a cost? Or $1,000? How about bringing your employees together, telling them what you're going to do and saying, tell you what, we need techs, guys. You bring us a friend, we hire that person, $500 bonus for your employee. How about the local parts stores, the local tires shops that are selling you? You think techs don't go into the local Napa or the local parts store and pick up parts? How about signs there? This is an example of just one example of what's important now. But here they are going through their day in, day out operation, having that on Monster.com and dealing with this fire every day. What's the likelihood of that getting put out? What's the likelihood of getting a good result for the dealership or your business? Slim to none. We can't wait on an ad on Monster.com. Are we advertising in the newspaper? Are we using actautostaffing.com to make it national attention on multiple sites? All-in effort is required whenever you ask that question, what's important now? How do you determine what's important now in your shop? Let's change this thought process. So instead of just putting out fires every day, which is what we generally get ourselves into, ask yourself the question when the fire comes up. What caused this fire? How often does this fire happen? Research everything about it. If its customer took an hour and a half for an oil change, how often does that happen? You might find that it happens all the time, every day. It might be that they're waiting on parts counter or whatever that the situation is. Get involved with the detail that you need to have to understand what caused that fire. What caused it, and how often does it happen? Write down what you find out. Challenge yourself with a question after this effort. What process could we implement to stop this fire from happening? Now, in the case of this technician, it could be total effort, local papers. I'm not going to stop. If I have to go hand out business cards at other dealerships at lunchtime, if I have to contact local colleges, do you think if I was running that shop, would I rest until the mission was accomplished? No, because I know that this is a source that reduces quality of life. What process can I implement? What can we change to stop this fire from happening? Write down the processes you need to put out the fire. Who needs to be involved in implementing the process changes? Maybe it's the parts team. Maybe we have to have inventory close to the oil change people, the quick lube lanes. Maybe we have to have wiper blades out there and they put them on the RO. Whatever we need to do, who needs to be involved in implementing it? Then pull your team together and discuss it. Do you think anybody in the facility enjoys fires happening in their day in, day out life? Do you think they like these complaints? What do you mean it's taken me 2.5 weeks to get an appointment for my Chrysler product? What do you mean? How many times do you have to hear that before direct action is taken to reduce that? The team would be excited that you're even noticing there are fires and taking actions to address them. Get the input from them. It'd be shocking to note that when you pull a team together and you discuss your issues, guess what? There's some great ideas they have on how that fire can be put out. Adapt the plan listening to the input of your entire team. It will improve your quality of life. It will improve customer satisfaction, customer retention, customer profits. Well, dealership profits, actually. One question for you, and then we'll open the call up for input from anyone that desires it. One more question. What's the downside of taking this kind of action? What's the downside of reviewing in your dealership what's important now? Mike, our moderator, is on the call. And as always, you can push the number 1 and raise your hand. Mike will see that your hand is raised. Acknowledge your question.
Yeah, we have one question. Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Clayton. Rob, you are absolutely right about everything that you said, and the biggest thing that dealers have to look at is a loss of a customer, because if that customer cannot get into your shop for 2.5 weeks and they go somewhere else to another, say, Chrysler dealership that is performing extremely well, and even though they're busy, they will take anyone and everyone that comes in to try to get them done, that customer now is going to have to make a decision to say, I've been going to A dealership for 5 years, and the service hasn't been quite as great. I go to B dealership one time, and they treat me like I've been coming here for 5 years. So I have to make a decision now. Do I continue to go to A, or do I switch to B? And most of the time, they're going to switch to B. So that's the real thing that a lot of dealers have to look at, is that loss of a customer.
Great point, because you don't only lose the service business, you lose the next sale on the car. Great point. And where are they going to send family and friends, right?
Exactly.
Fantastic. Thanks for that comment. All right, then, everybody, have a super day. Spring is here, even though a lot of areas are getting snow again today. Tomorrow is supposed to warm up, so let's just focus in on tomorrow with the weather, and hopefully you're in a warmer place. Have a great day, everybody, and thanks for attending the call. Bye now.